All right, phones down, wine glasses topped up, and Linda Steele, there's no mid-season hiatus for Steele and Vance. Here we are, episode 22, and...
well, last week we told you on the show that this beautiful winery in Comox, 40 Knots, sent us a little gift box. So today we're testing the rosé, but they said to me last week, oh, you'll have to come visit us in Comox and visit Ziggy. I said, who's Ziggy? So they sent me a picture. Ziggy and his other canine friend, they are employees, or sort of.
Shawnee
the chief
and
security
Ziggy.
officer at the winery. And then they sent me a text as well and said, these dogs, they're hardworking. They're actually behind the front desk when you come in. Look at this. I love it. I'm definitely coming to visit 40 Knots Winery in Comox. And one more thank you for the delicious...
Your nails match your rosé.
Oh, well, I did it that way.
How is it? Taste tester, how is it?
It's actually lovely. And I'm not really a rosé person, but this is... I would 100% buy this. Someone reached out and said, I've been looking in the liquor store for 40 Knots. So there you go.
There you go. And
so
you
much.
do not blow smoke because you're very particular about
Discerning
your
wine drinker.
Discerning.
Indeed. Yeah.
Much better word. And you were talking about Ziggy and Shawnee,
Yeah.
which is the perfect segue into today in my effort to one day get Linda Steele to get a dog. Yes, I'm talking to you, Norm, her husband.
Good luck.
Trying. But taking care of your dogs and preventative medicine is a big deal. And so many people, so many pandemic puppies, people don't know that you actually have to be either brushing your dog's teeth or giving them things that brush the teeth for you to protect their dental health. Trust me, I learned the hard way that it can be very
Vet
spendy if you
bills.
don't do it.
Well, in fact, we have a little canine friend in the studio today who is going to suffer through the toothbrushing because it is Pet Dental Health Month. And so this is an important thing for your pet and also for your wallet. So we're talking about that coming up a little later.
We are. Let's talk about what's coming up on the show, and then we'll get into some hot headlines here. The big issue this week that we are going to fully unpack here, looking at all sides and chiming in as well with our own thoughts on decriminalization.
This is a big deal. BC is going out there and doing it first in Canada. The province announced it today. So personal possession, small amounts, 2.5 grams, I believe, of most drugs. You will not get arrested. They will not take away your drugs. But already the headlines, did you see the Daily Mail? So this is what the BC government has announced.
Right. This is what our...
Now, check out the headlines coming from the UK. We have another headline here to put up, Derek. And this is what people are around the world saying. What have Vancouver's virtue signaling liberals been smoking? The Canadian city will decriminalize heroin and crack, even though it already has 2,000 homeless addicts and the streets are too dangerous. Okay, that sounds alarmist. On the one hand, it's true. I mean, a lot of what was said there is true. But I am hoping desperately that decriminalization is one more piece of the puzzle toward getting people healthy. But
we're going to hear from people on both sides, more experts on both sides. Obviously, we both have opinions on this. And so stay tuned because we're going to unpack that coming up in just a matter of minutes here. But I do want to get to some of the other headlines. And in one of our guests today, one of our favorite all-time radio guests is going to be with us on virtual, in studio on camera, but Jason Tetro, who's a microbiologist with a specialist. He is a specialist in emerging pathogens like COVID-19. This man knows what he's talking about. He's in the lab. He does the work. He does the study.
Right.
He's written the books. He does the podcast.
And the reason we're talking to him is because there is so much disinformation that we now have a report out saying essentially that thousands of Canadians died unnecessarily from COVID because they went down a rabbit hole of fake news, basically. This kind of connects to, I don't know if you saw who our new employee is, you know, they're saying Alberta's calling, BC's calling medical professionals moving here. Dr. Dina Hinshaw, who was Alberta's former top doc who led them through their COVID crisis, she got fired and has now been hired here in BC. And if you read the comments in the Vancouver Sun, people are like, oh, she was terrible, she was a failure, she was this, she was that. These are the people who fell down the disinformation rabbit hole. And we're going to talk about why this is a problem and maybe even how you can talk to people who you don't agree with.
And what it's like to be a scientist who gets attacked by people like that. And I would like to say, on behalf of the Steele and Vance Show, welcome, Dr. Henshaw. And you are most welcome to join us.
We'll take all the medical professionals we can get.
Well, exactly that. And when you obviously remember when Jan Arden was here, when Dr. Bonnie Henry, our provincial health officer, was in studio, and the exchange the two of them had. Dr. Henshaw saw that and actually wrote through Bruce Allen Talent to get to Jen to say thank you for her kind words.
Yeah.
Your kindness goes a long way, a long way. So if you're down that rabbit hole that you explained and you felt that disenfranchised anger associated with what we've all experienced these last 3 years, take a moment and think about the human beings behind what you're targeting. And I think this is a great moment to just pause for a second. And we are also a year out from the trucker convoy.
Oh man, I can't believe it's been a year. That was just so sad to watch. There were so many people who were angry. There was so much disinformation and led these people to believe that they needed to overthrow the government. And I mean, it was crazy. So we're having this conversation about misinformation and the dangers and the price we've all paid. That's coming up later in the show. Last week we talked to amazing guest, Dr. Stephanie Green, who is a MAID physician. And just today, some news from the federal government, Jody. The headline is the Liberals have gotten a bunch of blowback. March was supposed to be when people with mental illnesses as their sole medical condition could access MAID. The government said, no, we're not going to do that now. They're going to try to pass legislation, which they probably will, meaning that's going to be delayed by at least a year.
I loved when Dr. Green chimed in on the politics of that. If you missed it last week, go to our Check website, go to Steele and Vance, look us up. We're a podcast, we're a show. All of our episodes live on there, but Dr. Green's segment is there if you want to watch it in its entirety. Speaking of watching things, I was scrolling through TikTok and Twitter and saw something that happened in our backyard that has me just honestly so angry at this one individual, and hopefully somebody watching right now will know the person who decided that it was okay to verbally and physically intimidate and harass a couple who happened to be two men. Jamie Pine and his boyfriend were on a SkyTrain and
just sitting there.
Yeah, we should roll this.
Hate crime in Vancouver.
I mean, this guy, it wasn't just a homophobic tirade. He also said, go back, get out of Canada, so
I won't have this in my country.
So it was racist as well. They actually have gone to police, these two young men. Police have interviewed them. They're trying to identify that person who a lot of people have come out and said that guy has also been involved in attacking other people on SkyTrain. So it shouldn't be too hard to figure out who he is.
And kudos to both the transit police as well as the Vancouver Police Department, because I reached out to them midday today just to be like, is anything? And and both got back to me that fast to say, we're on it. The hate crimes unit is on it. Because the idea here is that because he walked right into the Burrard SkyTrain station and tapped his card apparently, and there's a video within the SkyTrain.
Oh, it won't be hard to figure out.
We're gonna figure out who this person is, and hopefully they will learn that this is not okay in our country. And most every Canadian would look at that behavior and say it's not okay, and there needs to be a correction. And in fact that's criminal, because I saw a couple of people on my Twitter feed that were like, what, just expressing himself.
It's a hate crime.
If you intimidate that way, if you attack that way, verbally, physically, intimidation, that is not cool. And doing it even behind your keyboard is also not cool, which we talked about. Yeah.
So many headlines. Boom, Canucks fans. Oh, first of all, Bruce Boudreau. Now the captain, Bo Horvat's gone.
On the anniversary of when Trevor Linden was traded also to the New York Islanders. Like, there's craziness associated with this. Now we're in the All-Star break. Everybody's feeling it. You got to watch Donnie and Dolly, the team, to get all the details behind this. But suffice to say, very difficult for Vancouver Canuck fans to yet again watch as the person that how many people bought jerseys for hundreds and hundreds of dollars for the captain of the team who are now like, here we go.
That's how it goes.
Again.
A lot of people also mourning the loss of a really beloved sitcom star. You saw Laverne and Shirley.
I talk about you and I as I'm Laverne to your Shirley.
Oh,
I
really?
say that all the time. I'm also Jimmy Kimmel to your Walter Cronkite, and we'll get to Jimmy Kimmel later in the show. Well, you're so smart.
Oh, hardly.
But Cindy Williams, I mean, those of us of a certain age looked at Laverne and Shirley in a way that we could see ourselves in it, that girlfriends.
Yeah.
And Laverne and Shirley, very different, and yet super tight.
Making
Sound
it
familiar?
work. One of the other things I thought was super cool, a headline this week, we have the World Cup coming to Vancouver, and to help fund it, we're going to ask people who offer up accommodations like Airbnb to put on a tax so that we can help fund a really fabulous event in Vancouver. And I think that should be a 100%, let's do that all the time, and take that money from Airbnb, which is often stealing from our housing supply here, and use that money for things like the opioid crisis, transit, whatever. Use it to help the lives of Vancouver residents.
I am with you 100% on this. Airbnb is lucrative. It is a way for people to subsidize their lives by short-term rentals. And I know a lot of people that do it and are good at it, and they make money off of it.
Yeah,
and taking
you're
a little
allowed
piece
to.
of that and putting it towards what's better for the community to fill in some of the blanks, I think that's a no-brainer.
I do too. I want to end this first segment with
Okay.
something fun. So last week we talked about how M&M's was being attacked by Fox News because they had changed their little spokes candies to look more inclusive, I guess. So now M&M's are trolling Tucker Carlson on Fox. Oh no, they're getting all sexy and getting undressed totally, which led me to believe, let's talk about the Root Bear. Everybody knows the Root Bear.
bono.
You know, he wears the orange sweater, doesn't wear pants, right? Oh my goodness. So A&W comes
My
out
pearls.
this week and they have to put out a statement saying basically that,
Let's talk.
Rudy the Root Bear does not wear pants, and now that you've pointed it out, they're going to make Rudy the Root Bear wear jeans. Fox lost it. Now, first it was M&M's and now it's the Root Bear, and they're all so woke. A&W has to put out a tweet going, it was a joke. Right? Hello.
Is now a good time to mention this as
We
a
need
joke?
that segment. Chill. Calm
Calm
down.
down.
Calm
It's
down,
calm
Fox
down.
News. We're getting an animation bill for that.
Later in the show, yet more evidence that disinformation costs lives, Canadian lives, not to mention taxpayers and our healthcare system. We're going to talk through that. We're going to myth bust. We're going to talk it all through with scientist Jason Tetro.
Also, still ahead, BC becomes the first in Canada to decriminalize possession of drugs. A good first step or a recipe for more trouble?